Hi, and welcome to day 6 of 365 days of self-love and realization. So today we're going to start flipping things around. So I hope that during the last 5 days you have written your thoughts in your transformational notebook, because we're going to use that and we're going to use those thoughts and all of the observations that you've made, and we're going to actually turn it around, and we're going to help you to see things in a way that promotes more self-love and acceptance. And that's obviously our goal here. So what I want you to do is look in your notebook at the things that you perceive are wrong with you or flawed, or that you've tried to disown, or whatever that is. And I want you to see if you can find other people in your life who have these traits, people who you love, people or even animals. So when I was a kid, my parents had 4 cats, and there was a fat cat, there were 2 muscular cats, and there was a skinny cat. This fat cat was so lovable and so soft and so cuddly. And of course, that was the cat that got all the love. That was the cat that people wanted to snuggle with. And so looking at that trait in the cat was apparently a positive thing. And then looking at the trait in myself was a negative thing in my mind. So, it got me thinking, okay, so maybe a trait is just a trait. So maybe it's not that it's a positive thing in the fat cat and a negative thing in me. Maybe it's just a trait. And so I ran with that. I was like, there are people in my life too who I love, who, may have the same trait too. So it didn't make me unlovable because I had a little bit of extra weight. Most women, at least in the Western world, suffer from some sort of body image issue as well. So I know that this is a pretty common thing. Something that a lot of people like to do to justify their judgments and prejudices is to say, oh, well, you'll be healthier if you're, thinner, which is honestly a load of crap. When I went to go get my life insurance, I gave them my medical history, yada, yada, yada. And then I went on vacation. When I got back from vacation, I had a message on my voicemail, and it said, hey, Carrie, we need for you to come back in because we need to rewrite this life insurance policy because you are healthier than you thought you were. Your blood test came back and you're premier select, which means I'm healthier than like 99% of all other people. And even though I'm a little bit more zoftic or juicy than other people, it doesn't mean that I'm unhealthy. So if people tell you that and you carry around this thing, oh, I'll be healthier if I'm thinner or whatever, it's just a load of crap for other people to justify their judgments of you. So I want you to let that go too. So what we're going to do here is I want you to think of somebody in your life or an animal or whatever who may have the same trait as you that you judge in yourself. Look at that on that other person and see if you judge that person as harshly as you judge yourself. So do you make the same judgments of them? How do you feel about this person? And if somebody were to judge them in front of you, is it something that you would agree with? So what I would like for you to do after you've come to that realization that you love people regardless of what they look like or how they are or what trait they may have, and I want you to write a letter to your former self, to that child or teenager or even adult who shared the same issue, who was first exposed to these bad thoughts about themselves. And this person who you're writing this letter to, this former you, is the most important relationship in your life, because that's the relationship that you base all other relationships on. So I want you to be really mindful and really thoughtful about this. And what I want you to do is I want you to write them a letter. And in this letter, from your adult perspective, tell them how much they are loved and how much they are appreciated. And I want you to give them perspective on how their vulnerabilities or how what they might perceive as their weakness or a flawed trait is their humanness. Because you will see in other people, like let's say you have a grandmother that you adore who's on the, zoftig side. You don't love that person any less because they're zoftig. And in fact, you may see that person as, maybe being a little bit more fleshy as a part of who they are and what makes them even more lovable. So I want you to translate those feelings that you may have found for other people and translate that and help that child to see that as well, because that child is you and that's a part of you that requires healing right now. So I want you to do that. Write that to your former self. Tomorrow, we are going to start getting into consciousness alignments. I'm going to do a regular consciousness alignment. And for those of you who are not experienced with consciousness alignments, you'll find out all about that tomorrow. They're really fun. And I decided that I'm going to do a little experiment with doing consciousness alignments in a different way, because I personally love to listen to meditations and things like that at night. And some of my core people who really follow me in this work and practice prosperity consciousness have told me that they've done something similar to this and it's really been beneficial and helpful for them. Thank you so much. Please just write a note to your former self and let that person know how appreciated they are from your adult perspective. Look at it from your adult perspective so that you can write them from a place of love and acceptance of them. And we're going to get into releasing judgments of others and releasing their interactions with us next week. Thank you so very much. I will see you tomorrow and have a beautiful day.